So here it is, some books that I ordered from England, and it got here less than 11 days. From England to Massachusetts, from Old England to New England, it took 11 days. I hate videos that open up videos and blah, blah, blah. So I'm just gonna open this box and show you what I have, the goodies that I have inside, and I'm excited. Hopefully they're as good as I'm expecting them to be good. So I'm just gonna open them up and show you what's inside. In the box, the first thing is that here it is. It's from Troy Books. That is the address, and they send you this little message. And when you order books from Troy Books, you have to pay through PayPal. That is the only way that you can pay. And here are the books. Sorry about the dogs. Here are the books, nicely packaged, and I'm really excited to open them up and see what's inside. Here are the first 4 books that I purchased. I purchased The Devil's Dozen by, I don't know how to pronounce that name, Gemma or Hemagari. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing it wrong. I ordered The British Book of Spells and Charms by Graham King, Traditional Witchcraft, A Cornish Book of Ways by, I'm sorry, again, I might say this name wrong, Gemma Gary. And I ordered, I can't even see The Devil's Plantation by Nigel G. Pearson. These are just 4 books that I ordered from them. I'm excited. These are all softback. They come in hardback. And if you ever saw the movie Sleepy Hollow with Johnny Depp, you know, where he played Ichabod Crane, and there's a part where Christina Ricci, who she played the character, I think it was Katrina Van Tassel, when he walks into the room and she's reading a hardback book, they have all these books like that, but I wanted to purchase them in soft cover just to make sure that I like them before I ordered the hardbacks. I just wanted to make sure that, you know, because they are very expensive, you know, you're looking at $30 to $40, but they look gorgeous online. One of my friends, he has one of the hardcover ones, and like I said, it looks like that book that Katrina Van Tassel was reading when Ichabod Crane came into the room, and he saw her reading one of her spell books. So I wanted to get them in soft cover before I do order. Everyone knows that I love my hardcover books, so I ordered them in soft cover, and I'm going to read each one and look at them. I mean, look at the pictures inside them. They are beautiful. Each one, they're just well written, and they just look very nice. Some have color pictures. I live in Massachusetts, so most of the shops, look at that, most of the shops that you come up here in Massachusetts, most of the books, look at the art and images on that, most of the books that you come here or in most shops are new agey, and I like traditional. I like old school traditions. I like to, you know, I just love, that's what I like. I'm not really into the new age movement, or, you know, it's just not my preference. I personally enjoy older books and old traditions, so I'm just gonna read through them and probably just give you, look at the pictures on that, give you a review on each one and what I think, and if it's worth getting the hardcover copies of them. They come in leather, but like I said, I live in Massachusetts, so it would have cost me an arm and a leg. So I bought them, you know, just to review them. I bought them in paperback just to check them out. They look beautiful so far. So I know that I'm probably going to add the hardcover leather ones to my collection, just because I personally enjoy them. So I'm going to read them, and then I'm just going to give you a quick review of what each of these books is about, and then if I enjoy them, I'm sure I'll probably definitely order more from Troy Books in the future. So I'm just going to get to reading and then just give you a personal review of each of the books. Okay, so I read the books. Actually, I gobbled down the books. I've never enjoyed reading newer books in such a long time. If you follow my videos, you know that most of the books that I enjoy are older books, because if you read newer books, I mean, most of the books, if you read one book published recently or in these times, if you read one book on witchcraft, all the books are pretty much the same. They say the same thing over and over. There's no substance, it's just reading the same thing over and over and just getting, I guess, a different perspective. So just by reading one, I mean, you don't even need to get more than that. In what's published today here in the Americas, and I don't mean to disrespect anybody, bunch of crap. But these books blew me away. The first book I just gobbled them up. That's how good they were. I ordered them from England, and here I am in Massachusetts. It took 11 days for me to get them. They come in hardcover. These are the soft cover. So, I ordered them in soft covers, and yes, I am going to get the hardcover books because they are just that amazing, and I would like to add them to my collection. So the first book, and I'm just going to show you some of the pages that I like and some of the pictures that I like. But the first one that I want to show you is Traditional Witchcraft, a Cornish Book of Ways. Okay, this is the cover. Like I said, I'm gonna get them in hardcover, and I have little slips here so I can show you some of the pages that I enjoyed. It's part cunning folk and part witchcraft, what was practiced in England. And cunning folk in the Latin American countries would be known as either santiguadores or curanderos or curanderas, which is similar to what a cunning folk is in England. So a lot of people ask me, well, why is a Latino interested in English witchcraft? Well, reading these books, there's so much similarities between the European magic, which was what was practiced in England, in Spain, in Ireland, in Scotland. There's a lot of similarities, and these books are more influenced with the Christian elements of what witchcraft had become, with the Christian element, with the Christian influence in each country. Well, in this case, in England, but how witchcraft had transformed around these times when these people lived. So if you practice Wicca and you're not into the Christian elements, you definitely won't enjoy. I mean, maybe you might enjoy the books, but look at the pictures. I'm just going to show you random pictures of this book. This book, I read it, I gobbled it up. I gobbled it down. I gobbled it down. Part history, part lore. I'm not really gonna, and you need to order it for yourself to really understand what it's about. I mean, it's just chock full of pictures. One of my favorite books. This is, like I said, part history and part practice. And again, the images are amazing. I mean, they're just beautiful. Look at that. I haven't been so happy to read a modern book in so long, because like I said, I live in New England, and when you go to these places that they sell the New Age books, you read one, you pretty much got the gist of what every other 20 other books has to say. Each one of these books was very different in their own way. So, and it has a lot of Christian elements. I'm going to leave a link down below if you're interested in ordering from Troy Books. I highly recommend it. And I'm also going to leave a link of the Cornish Museum of Witchcraft. I'm going to leave a link down below. But oh my God, the book, I mean, is just amazing. It's one of my favorite books that I've read. I'm going to probably read it a couple more times. I'm definitely going to read it a couple more times. Okay. It's got magic power squares. Okay, so it's got seals. Okay, and it's got beautiful black and white pictures. So wow. I just enjoyed it. I don't know what else to say. I haven't been so happy with reading books in so long. Most of the books that I enjoy reading are older books. These are amazing that I'm going to get them in hard copy. This book, 2 thumbs up. I loved it. And I'm definitely going to get the hardcover book about it. The hardcover copies. Love Troy books. This was one of my favorites. Actually, I love them all for what they are. This is the British Book of Charms, Spells and Charms. Okay, I'm trying not to get the glare. And it's by Graham King. This is just pretty much a spell book. I like the introduction where he just, gives a picture of himself and, good luck and whatever. But it is a book of spells, and it has a lot of Christian magic, a mix of folk magic, what folk magic had become in England, So, the old ways, they didn't die out. They just transformed. They changed. It's got a lot of color pictures in this book, a lot of spells. And I love it. It's just to learn. I'm surprised that I knew so many, because there's so many similarities between Hispanic or Spanish witchcraft and English witchcraft. A lot of the prayers were very similar. Just an English version. Here's the abracadabra. I'm definitely gonna get these in hardback. I just enjoyed them. I can't wait to get this one hardback. I don't know. This is how good it is. It feels. When you're a little kid and you're excited and when you open that, you're so excited. This is what these books. That's how good these books were for me. If you're into modern magic. And you're scared of spiders and frogs and using that in your magic, that is part of our history. That is part of our traditions. Yes, you will find spells with spiders. Yes, you will find spells with spiders and lizards and blah, blah, blah. A lot of modern witches like to push that under the carpet like it doesn't exist or it never existed. It is witchcraft. And this is how witchcraft was practiced in England. And if you go to Mexico, if you go to Puerto Rico and you go to a brujo, you will see a lot of these items still used in our magical practices. Not so much in the Americas, in the United States, where everything has become, I don't know how to say it, fluff bunny and they like to oh no, that's disgusting, I can't use that in my magic. That's fine. If you don't like that, then these books are definitely not for you. If you do not like Christian elements in your magic, these books are not for you. But if you are a scholar, if you like to learn a part of the history of who what makes, different parts of history of different kinds of witchcraft, then I definitely highly recommend this. If you look at witchcraft around the world, everywhere around the world, mostly in Europe, Italy, Strega, the Balkan tradition of Greece, a lot of Christian elements are still in there. A lot of in the Latin brujeria, you will see a lot of Christian elements. And so, a lot of the modern people who view witchcraft as a religion, and that's fine. I'm not disrespecting witchcraft as a religion. It's got its place. But as a practice, you have to separate both of them. This is the Devil's Dozen. Now, if you saw the movie, what was that movie, The Witch, which came out was it 2015? A lot of people were in an uproar. They said that is not what witchcraft is about. That was a portrayal of what witchcraft was viewed in Massachusetts, in New England at the time, and what the devil what old gods such as Cernunos, or in Spanish Cernunos, where we get the Spanish word cuerno, but Cernunos, Pan, who had that spirit had be, transformed into, which became the Christian Lucifer, or the devil, not Lucifer, the devil or Satan. So this goes into a lot of that. It shows you, look at that picture. You'll find similarities in this in traditions of Quimbanda in Brazil. Look at the title for that. This is a little book, and I enjoyed it. Just for history, it's got some practice. It's not. How can I say this? If I'm gonna use a term without disrespecting anybody, it's not satanic magic. It is just magic of what the old gods had become in the Christian era. Pan, Cernunos, what they had transformed into. So you, again, in this book, you will see a lot of Christian magic. Prayers to the Father, the Son, the Holy Ghost, and beautiful, 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 beautiful pictures. Let's see what else I can get. I mean, just beautiful, beautiful pictures of what witchcraft, it is part of our history, what witchcraft had transformed, and what a lot of people who practice witchcraft, and not as a religion, but as a craft, as a part of who they are, what they practice. So I definitely had to get this book. So definitely I'm gonna get this in hard copy, in leather. The Devil's Plantation, similar to this. Okay, just a little bit more. It's got some spells, it's got some charms. Another book, I'm gonna get them all in hard copies. I just want that leather book. I read these books so quick. I mean, look at that. Look at the pictures in these books. Look at that picture. The pictures are just, the pictures by themselves, they're just amazing. See, I put, to make it a little bit easier on myself to go through the pictures, let me show you some of the, let me show you the, let me show you some of the pictures in the back. I mean, these are what you would see in the, what is it, the Meseum of Witchcraft in Cornwall, in England, who published these books, which is Troy Publications. I'm going to leave a link down below to Troy Publications and to the Witches Museum. Here's a spell. You're going to have to probably stop and freeze that so you can see what magic you're going to read upon in these books. There's a lot of Christian element, as you can see. I'm not really going to go too deep into the books because you're just going to have to read them for yourselves. They are amazing. I just can't stop saying how amazing they are. They're just that good. I love them. There's pictures of folk saints in England. Okay. So yeah, I mean, I haven't been so excited to read books. This is one of my favorite ones. I love this little book, and I'm definitely gonna get from them. It's called, there's another book there's two books that I'm actually dying to get. Spells from the Wise Woman, from the Wise Woman's Cottage by Stephen Peterson, I wanna get also. And the Black Toad, which is also written by, I don't know how to say his name, Gemma or Hema Gary. Which she wrote this book, and what other book did she write? And this book right here. So I'm going to get the Black Toad from them. So I'm going to leave links down below. I'm telling you, if you're sick and tired of reading all this New Age, let's put the darker sides or the Christian side under the carpet and let's pretend it never was part of our history. It is part of our history. It is part of our history. It's an integral, important part of our history. As witches, we should learn part of that history, and we should not be ashamed. Some of the greatest folk saints, or even saints, were burnt for being witches. Joan of Arc from France was burnt. She was burnt as being a witch, and now she's honored in the Catholic tradition as a saint. So if you're into Wicca and if you're not into the Christian magics, I don't recommend these books. But if you want to learn your history, I definitely recommend it. This is one of my favorite books. I love this book. Love this book. Love these books. If you watched the movie The Witch, with what was it, Black Phillip in Puerto Rico, El Negro Felipe. But if you saw those books, that movie, this is what that is, and what Cernunos, Pan had become in those times, and how the Christians had transformed a nature spirit into the devil. So they are part of your history, and they're beautiful, and they are workbooks. You'll learn some history, some magic. So I love this book, and I can't wait to get the other one. Love this book. I'm just going to show you a few more pictures before I end this video. It is just a book that, again, look at, if you're squeamish about animals, this is part of what Cornish witches used. Curandero, brujas in Mexico. If you study anything about brujeria in Mexico, you will notice that they use animals. So if you're squeamish about that, and spiders and toads and all that, then definitely these books are definitely not for you. You know what I'm saying? But if you want a spell book of what traditional magic was in the olden days, then yeah, and it's got some beautiful prayers, some beautiful incantations, some beautiful enchantments, and the pictures are just amazing. So anyways, I'm going to leave links down below of both Troy books where you can order them. I'm going to get the hard copies. I love them. I'm going to get them all because I want them all in my library. I'm going to leave a link down below of Troy books, which are in England, I think in Cornwall, England, I'm not sure. And also a link to the Witches Museum in Cornwall. Highly recommend it. If you're tired and you want to learn about traditional magic, traditional witchcraft, highly recommend these books. I hope you enjoyed this video, and like I said, I'm going to get the hard copies. I'm going to add these hard copies. I wanted to read them. I wish I had got the hard copies. They are expensive if you get the hard copies, but I saw my friend has the Black Toad in hard copy. What a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful book. And so I'm definitely going to get the hard copies. This is Sancita Brujo Luis. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please leave a comment down below. To add a side note, a side video, I'm sure that I'm going to have some people saying, well, why is a Latino reading about a Cornish witchcraft, the cunning folk tradition of England? You will find a lot of similarities between Scottish witchcraft, English witchcraft, Irish witchcraft, and Spanish witchcraft of Spain. Okay, you will also find similarities in Italian, Strega, in Balkan tradition of Greece. So you will find a lot of Christian elements. And if you read any book on brujeria in Spanish, you will notice that a lot of witchcraft in South America was influenced by a lot of the Christian concept of magic. We use the saints in our magic. We use, santos, the prayers, the novenas. We view witchcraft as a separate entity from our religion. Some witches, or brujos, as what we call them in Latin America, they don't view witchcraft as a religion. They view witchcraft as just una tradición, a tradition. It is something that you practice. Many witches, many brujos are either Catholics, Christians in Latin America. And so they view la brujeria or the witchcraft as a separate entity. Me, myself, I'm an espiritista. I am a brujo and I am a salsista. My brujeria is not my religion. My brujeria, my witchcraft is, my traditional witchcraft, mi brujeria tradicional is my craft. It's my art. It's just what I do, how I was born, and it's something that I do. It has nothing to do with religion. And yes, I do I ask the saints for their help in my spiritual and magical working. So I understand the differences. So when I'm reading these books, I will often see the similarity in Mexican brujeria, in Puerto Rican brujeria, in brujeria from Spain. Of course, these are all from England, but a lot of the prayers are a Christian in element. And this was a time, when the Cunning folk, most of this is about the Cunning folk and how the pagan traditions had transformed in these times. Cunning folks in Latin America, it would be viewed as un curandera, or a santiguadora, a yelbera, or a yelbero, herbalist, and they practice these traditions alongside their religion practices. So I just wanted to add that to a side note. Again, these are the paperback copies. I recommend it. If you can afford the hard copies, get the hard copies. If you can't get the hard copies, I recommend you get these paperbacks. I've got them, I read them, I gobbled them up, and now I'm definitely going on to go get the hard copies, the leather bound copies. They're gonna look beautiful in my library. And I'm also going to order I think it's called the Black Toad, and there's another one, the Spells from the Wise Woman's Cottage. I keep saying white woman, the Wise Woman's Cottage, which I'm going to add them all in the leather hard copy. So I just wanted to add that side note, because a lot of people are going to be like, well, what's a Latino reading about English witchcraft? Because it's very similar. It has a lot of similarities to the witchcraft of Europe. It's European, so it has a lot of similarities to the witchcraft or la brujeria from Spain, la brujeria or the witchcraft from the Scottish Isles and the Irish, the Irish Isles. So I just wanted to add that as a side note. And yes, these traditions influence how shamanism and witchcraft, brujeria, is practiced in the New World, especially in Latin America. And not just in brujeria, but in Haitian voodoo, you will see a lot of Catholic and Christian elements. So, you'll see a lot of similarities. So I just wanted to add that as a side note. And I think that all brujos should be educated. There's only so much a book can educate you, for the young people. But these are, they're just beautiful. It gives you a glimpse of history. Of an era of witchcraft that we, as brujos, as witches, we shouldn't ignore. We shouldn't push under the carpet. And a lot of modern day witches, especially here in the New World, who practice a religion like Wicca or something like that, they like to push that under the side, and they say they don't believe in demons. And you need to educate yourself what is a demon before you say you don't believe in that. A lot of elemental spirits, sirens, gnomes, the elemental spirits are known as demons. So educate yourself on what the word demon means. It doesn't necessarily, you're looking at it as in a Christian concept, so understand what the word demon is. But yeah, I definitely highly recommend this if you want to read about traditional witchcraft. These are the books that I definitely recommend. I'm going to leave a link down below to Troy Books and to the Meseum of Witchcraft. And if you like this book, if you like this video, please hit that like button. This video is probably a little bit too long, so let me close it.